Welcome to part 5 of the Naomi Experience. If you have not already, make sure that you are sharing this experience with your amazing friends, family, and fans, and that you are also commenting and sharing any aha moments, any questions that you have, because I am enjoying engaging with you guys over the course of this class. So today we are talking about the truth about the field. And I've been excited about getting to this part of the course for quite some time now because it's something that I really love talking about, the truth about the field. We know that in the story of Naomi and Ruth and Boaz, Ruth goes out into the fields of Boaz, and she's gleaning there, which means she's going to harvest after all of the other harvesters have gone. So at the time, of course, Ruth may have been struggling, was not legally employed by Boaz, so she had to go after the other collectors. And in that, many times we are taught that being in the field means, parading yourself in the field or going out and looking for Boaz or trying to make something happen. And so I definitely wanted to talk about how to apply God's design for femininity to the field of your life. And, so that you're not out there desperately seeking Boaz or desperately waiting for him to show up in your life, so that you are attracting and magnetizing exactly what you need to magnetize to you. And the field is a beautiful space. It's a beautiful place, but there are some misconceptions, of course. And so we're going to talk about those things today. If you have not already, again, make sure that you share. Make sure that you grab the masterclass bundle so that you can build on what you are learning in this class, because there is so much more to the story. It gets so much deeper, and how to practically apply these principles is so very important. So I'm excited. I hope that you're excited. I hope that you have your notebook ready and you are ready to receive today, because it's so important to be ready to receive, to be willing to receive, and to be able to receive. Y'all know we talked about that. So I have my notes, and I really want to talk about what people think the field is. A lot of people think the field, like I said, is a place where you go out and parade yourself and you desperately seeking Boaz. Sometimes we look at the field as the ocean, and we say, oh, there's so many more fish in the sea. There's so many more, there's plenty of fish out there in the ocean. You don't need to stop at just one, or you're just in your 20s. You need to be focused on this, that, and the third. Or we think that the field is putting yourself out there, and we're not focused on our purpose as much as we're focused on putting ourselves out there when we're thinking about the field. But truthfully and honestly, the field is a place of purpose. The field is a place of focus. The field is a place where you can go and be refined. And so I want to talk about that today, what the field really is, what the field really means, and what I've shared with my clients, what I've shared with women that I counsel with and coach with, that has helped them to work the field effectively, and continue to work the field even after they're married, even after they've had children and experienced, the arrival, how they say, oh, you've arrived, even after they've experienced that, to continue to work that field. And when you understand what the field is, you understand that you have to continue to work that field. You just go to another level. If you think about it, the very same field that Ruth was working, gleaning in her struggle, she turned around and became the steward of that field, because she is Boaz's wife. So that means she's managing all of his assets. That means she is now second in command over his household and his estate. So that very field, God could be positioning you to turn that around for your good. And in order for that to happen, you have to be very clear on what the field is. Ruth was clear on what the field was for her, and she understood that, and she stood in it, and she was diligent and consistent and committed to it. So First of all, the field is the work, the inner and outer work, because many times we're pouring ourselves into the outer work. We're pouring ourselves into the career piece. We're pouring ourselves into the college, all of the things that are outside of us. And while those things are very valuable and they help us to maneuver the field more effectively, it's also important to understand the inner work that is related to going out into the field. The inner work of saying, you know what, I'm emotionally struggling and I need to be refined in that space. I'm spiritually struggling and I need to be refined in that space. I am physically struggling and I need to be refined in that space. I'm financially struggling and I need to be refined in that space. The field is a space for you to do your inner and your outer work. The field gives you a place to focus on what you are ready and working to create. And so if you focused on Boaz when you're out in the field, you're not focused on getting your work done. If you're focused even on Naomi when you're out in the field, one thing that I love about coaching is that my coach is not, on top of my back. When I'm out in the field, when I'm out getting my work done, when I'm doing what I need to do for my business, for my family, my husband nor my coach are right there on top of me like, hey, what are you doing? I'm able to just focus on the work. And that is what the field is designed for. The field is designed for you to get out there, get it done, focus on the work while you're in the process of preparing to be the steward of that field. So the inner and outer work is the first principle that governs the field. What does your inner and outer work look like? Have you taken the time to really sit down and say, what is my work? What is my purpose? What is my worth? What am I good at? What am I able to give if my Boaz does show up today? How am I able to submit? What value can I bring to the table? And I don't mean the woman who says, oh, I don't bring the table, I built the whole table. Or bring plates to the table, I built the whole table. We're not talking about that woman. We're talking about the woman who understands that along with the table, you need a kitchen. Along with the kitchen, you need a house. Along with the house, you need all these things that go along with that. And so she's thinking about, how am I constantly adding value to myself? How am I removing those things that have been holding me back, taking these thoughts into subjection so that I'm able to show up in my field the way that I need to? How am I subduing my complaints? How am I subduing my laziness? How am I subduing the way that I've been showing up so that I'm able to show up properly when my opportunity presents itself? So that is the first concept of the field, is understanding that it's really about the inner and outer work that you are doing on yourself. And so the second principle of the field is that it's the path to abundance. Being in the field, being committed, being consistent, being dedicated while you are in the field is absolutely the path to abundance in your life. It is the path to be noticed. It's the path to be recognized. It's the path to be humbled so that you can then be uplifted. It is the path to creating exactly what you want in your life. And many of us try to manipulate the field or circumvent the field or go around the field, or make it be something that it is absolutely not. And we show up doing a whole lot of extra work instead of doing the work that is required while we are in the field. So understand that it is the path to your abundance. The field is the path to your abundance. When you think about Ruth and Boaz, she went out there thinking she was just going to get the gleanings, and he sent her home with bags of barley. He sent her home with plenty of loaves of bread. So understand that the field is the path to your abundance, and your reputation while you are in the field is the key to your abundance. Your reputation while you are in the field is the key to your abundance. How you build yourself up as a woman, how you show up as a woman, how you show up for your work, how you show up for your commitments, how you show up for your dedication. That is the key to your abundance. If you are asking God to show up and show out and pour out a blessing in your life that you don't have room to receive, you can't be the thing that's sitting around bottlenecking your life. You can't be the thing that's sitting around like a lump on a log taking up the space where your blessings need to occupy. You have to get up, you have to get out, and you have to get something. You have to bring some value to that field and let it be the space that is refining you so that you can activate that abundance in your life, so that you can activate that provision in your life as well. And so the third principle of the field, the third truth about the field, is that the field is a place for your commitment to be proven. The field is a place where it's going to get hot sometimes. It's going to get exhausting sometimes. You're going to be tired of working. You got to wait for the other harvesters to go. You got to wait for everybody else who's been in line, who's been doing the work all this time to get what they going to get, and you standing at the end of the line. But guess what? The trying of your faith worketh patience. Remember that always. So as you are standing in the field, as you are out there being refined, as you are doing that inner work that sometimes gets uncomfortable, as you are doing that outer work that sometimes seems like it isn't working, you are being refined. The field is the place that proves your commitment. Can you be committed to a Boaz? A Boaz commitment is a lifelong commitment. Committing yourself to someone as their wife is a lifelong commitment. Having that great marriage, building that amazing legacy, that is a lifelong commitment. And if you can't commit to the field, if you can't commit to the work, if you can't commit to the purpose that's been put inside of you, how can you submit to someone else's purpose? How can you commit to someone else's purpose? How can you commit to the vision that God has over the entire marriage if you haven't committed to the vision that God has on your life? So, understand that the field is designed to be the place where you are able to do your inner and outer work. It's the path to your abundance, and it is absolutely the place where you as a woman will be proven in your commitment. And so if you want to attract that Boaz, if you are ready to attract that Boaz, you got to get up under Naomi so Naomi can show you how to work the field and how to be consistent and dedicated and diligent while you are in the field, while you are on that path to becoming the most loved woman you know. Ruth's reputation while she was in the field was why she was the most loved woman in the entire town, in the entire city. She was the most loved woman that Boaz could point out because of the reputation that she kept while she was in the field. So if you are absolutely ready for that, if you are ready to become the most loved woman you know, then I invite you to the free e-course. You can tap the description to go ahead and sign up for that and get access to an amazing e-course that will absolutely support you in getting from your field to your forever. Peace and love, y'all.